So, damit ihr mal eine Vorstellung davon bekommt, was tatsächlich im Einzelnen möglich ist, wenn man sich mit Lerntechniken beschäftigt, habe ich euch mal dieses Video hier aufgezeichnet. Und ja, schaut es euch einfach an. Bin mal sehr gespannt auf eure Reaktion.
However, after a week of intensive studying, I felt he needed a little boost in his confidence. We met up, and Glenn brought with him a selection of the books he'd been absorbing so that he can test for the first time whether the system is working or not. So talk me through what you've been doing over the last few days.
I've been looking an awful lot of books.
Just to let you see that you do know more than you think you know. This is one of the books that you've read?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a book on art and artists.
Yeah.
It's a encyclopedic volume. Looks like it's part of a set. I'm going to ask you a question from this. If you tried to work out the answer, you probably wouldn't be able to get it. You'd find that very difficult. So I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is to imagine that the answer is coming somewhere from the back of your mind, where you've had no conscious awareness of any facts at all, from somewhere in the darkness. Something will come forward, some images, some ideas, which you're going to piece together to form an answer. Worst thing that happens is you're wrong. Does not matter at all. Okay. All right. So if I asked you, for example, the Camden Town Group, which is a group of British painters, they formed in 1911. They held an exhibition somewhere in London in 1911 to 1912. If I asked you where that was.
Carfax House. Hey!
Carfax Gallery, London, 1911 to 1912. So, what made you say that?
I could see a car. All I could see was a car, and it looked strange.
Yeah.
There was something about it.
Yeah.
And I could see something coming out of it, and it looked like a fax machine. So
you went Carfax?
Carfax. How would I know that? Don't tell me I know everything in these really books. I mean, I can't really know everything in these books, can I? No, surely not.
I don't want to do this too much. Let's just do one more. Amazon rainforest. How many different sorts of hummingbird have been recorded in the Amazon rainforest?
319. No.
Right there.
Christ almighty. No, I certainly can't know that. How do I know that, Darren?
Birdlife is even richer. More than half the world's total of 86,000 species thriving in the Great Green Sanctuary. 319 different sorts of hummingbird alone have been recorded. How does that feel?
Scary. I've taken everything in.
Don't even try and work it out.
Okay.
Right? Just take it on board. Great, I've got it. Take whatever encouragement you can from that feeling of astonishment that you have at the moment, and then just let it take you forward. And so, after only 1 week of looking at hundreds of books, thousands of pages and millions of words, Glenn's arrived at the Night of the Champions, where 150 of the brightest brains have gathered to compete for the coveted prize of Pub Quiz Champion. With the missing links?
The toucans. 5 dogs and 1 fox.
We've won 6 out of the last 7 that we've done. Good questions.
They're always good questions.
Definitely going to go for winning.
You don't quiz if you don't think you're going to win.
Although everyone knows we're filming for a TV show, they don't know that it's mine. So I have to hide in the pub garden, in the cold, to talk to Glenn in secret. Glenn's turned up with his wife Jane for moral support. So I gave you some techniques as to how to kind of access the information.
It feels like there's a huge room in my head with lots of drawers, lots of places to hide things. I've got a fair idea of how to go and get the stuff.
Yes.
Hopefully it's just going to come.
Jane has been told not to talk to Glenn or react or do anything that might help him. The questions have been set by Andy Burns, one of London's most experienced quizmasters. I've had no contact with him, and as with all the teams, he doesn't know that I'm involved.
There's lots of smart people downstairs who've been quizzing a very long time, and who I guess are expecting something tough. They're expecting the best, and I think I'll put something together that would really test them.
The teams are made up of between 4 and 6 of the brightest people from their area. Glenn is the only person tonight entering this quiz alone.
Event on the London pub quiz.
The quiz comprises 40 questions, and Andy, the quizmaster, is the only one in the room who knows what those questions are and what subjects they'll be covering.
Champions in your own right, you are champions of the own pub.
Glenn is clearly nervous and still has no idea if the speed learning I've taught him will be enough to answer whatever questions are asked.
Let's get this quiz underway, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. Question 1. What is the middle name of the current US president? What is another common name for the scarab beetle?
I'm not positive for scarab beetle. I had a picture of a scarab beetle, but I can't decipher what the picture means.
When Big Ben strikes 5 o'clock, how many seconds delay is there between the strikes? In fencing, what do you call the resultant fight-off when there is a tie? What is the currency in What is the equivalent of Venus in Greek? Many weeks for the moon to complete a revolution of the Earth?
I just can't work out how I knew that. They're all coming to me like pictures, okay? All I can see is quick picture in my head. It's like bang, picture, it's gone.
Who's got all 3 of those? Which club that is currently not in the Premiership has won the most number of league titles? In the year 1992, which English town became a city? How many of Henry VIII's offspring ruled England? Before 1972, what was Sri Lanka known as? What animal, when they gather together in a group, is known as a flange? In which US state did man first knowingly drill for oil? Which Russian word literally means is the more common name for the Volstead Act? In biblical etiology, which animal became extinct because it was thrown off the ark and drowned? Now what happens is you finish off the answers on your answer sheet and you swap your sheet with an opposing to find out who has won the 2008 Night of Champions. Here come the answers. What is the middle name of George Bush? It is Walker. What's another common name for the scarab beetle? The dung beetle. How many seconds delay is there between a dong on Big Ben? The answer's 5, ladies and gentlemen. In fencing, what do you call the resultant fight-off when there is a tie? It is known as a barrage. What is the currency in Liechtenstein? The answer is the Swiss franc. Question number 9. The answer is Aphrodite. Friends. Question number 11. The answer is 4 weeks. Which current non-Premiership team has won the most number of league titles? Sheffield Wednesday. Which English town became a city in 1992? The answer is
Sunderland.
Until a week ago, Glenn's life revolved around his work, his wife and children, and his football. Since then, he's taken a leap of faith and has given up all his spare time to throw himself into a seemingly impossible mission, all for this one night.
Prohibition. Please put the final score in the box provided.
The final scores are being counted up now, and if Glenn has been able to hold his own against a huge room of seasoned quizzers, it'll be an amazing personal achievement for him.
The results are in, ladies and gentlemen. From bottom to top, we've got a team called One Night in Paris. Moving up, we've got a team called More Luck Than Judgment. Red lorry, yellow lorry.
When Darren first told me what I was going to be going through, that was just something a million miles away from where I thought I could be.
The Toucan, round quiz team, hidden talent.
I know it's a mad mission, but any questions before you start?
No, I'm just going to go for it.
Leisha, Thick Thistle Sticks, the Dynamo Devilfish, Nick and Dave and the Disciples.
Don't tell me I know everything in these really books. I mean, I can't really know everything in these books, can I?
30 points is the missing links. 32 points is Fawny Beige.
The whole process has been an absolute remarkable experience and something I wouldn't swap for any other experience that I've ever had.
33 points is just Glenn. It's a dead heat for first place, ladies and gentlemen.
And so, after just 1 week competing on his own against the best teams in London, Glenn has achieved the second highest score of the night.
Hey! It's difficult to describe exactly how I feel right now because I'm just an ordinary guy with an ordinary background, been taken out of that, put into something that I'd most probably never do, and I've done well, you know, and if I can do it, most probably everybody can do it. And some of the techniques I've been taught, they were remarkable, and obviously they've worked because I wouldn't be standing here with a bottle of champagne in my hand.